Navigating the chaotic financial markets for the very first time feels exactly like steering a paper boat through dangerous rapids. You are hit with conflicting advice, dense financial jargon, and endless options. But there is a straightforward entry point. The Securities and Exchange Board of India, along with NISM, offers a 60-minute investor awareness test. It costs exactly 0 rupees. Here's the catch. To take it, you have to navigate a portal built for professionals. This beginner's test sits right next to the mandatory, legally binding licenses required for Dalal Street. This table compares your options. Left, NISM professional exams. Right, the SEBI Investor Test. Look at the cost. Professional exams cost 1,500 rupees, while SEBI is free. For usage, paid exams are strict career licenses, but SEBI's test is strictly for personal literacy. If you are trying to land a job at a brokerage or a mutual fund, stop here. Passing this free test adds 0 weight to your professional resume. But if you are a retail investor trying to figure out what to do with your household savings, spending an hour on this material gives you a clear baseline of knowledge. You walk away with an official regulatory certificate after answering 50 questions. You trade an hour of your time for a personal benchmark of financial literacy, but you do not get a shortcut to a Wall Street career. Let us look at exactly what you learned during that 60-minute exam. This scorecard breaks down the curriculum. First, macroeconomic basics, like budgeting, inflation, and government schemes. We rate this high utility. Next is market plumbing, understanding depositories, stock exchanges, and primary versus secondary markets, also high utility. Knowing how depositories hold shares explains where money goes, not which assets to buy. Look at the scorecard's bottom. 0 coverage of advanced trading, balance sheet analysis, or algorithmic stock picking. We give that 0 utility. Excluding those topics prevents a dangerous trap. Beginners will not walk away with the false confidence that they are suddenly professional stock pickers. The exam maintains a strict complexity budget. It focuses your attention on the structure of the financial system rather than complex financial engineering. You learn exactly how your cash moves through the economy. You just cannot rely on this syllabus to independently pick winning stocks. This certification provides your first practical layer of financial defense. The curriculum's dedicated risk framework requires you to understand credit, market, and liquidity risks. It also requires you to understand the mechanics of hedging and portfolio diversification. In practice, these concepts serve as an immunity shield. When a social media influencer hypes up a guaranteed get-rich-quick scheme, you will recognize the liquidity and market risks they are hiding. However, identifying a bad investment on a multiple-choice test is entirely different from maintaining behavioral discipline when the actual market crashes. Structurally, the test consists of 50 questions, worth a maximum of 50 marks. This gauge shows the passing threshold. You only need to score 50% to earn the certificate. Setting the bar at 50% turns the exam into a low-stress sandbox for beginners. You can pass without achieving absolute mastery of the material. A passing grade validates your grasp of basic risk mechanics, though the 50% threshold ensures the certification remains an entry-level credential. To resolve whether you should spend your time on this, we can run your situation through a straightforward decision matrix. This flowchart starts with one qualifying question. Are you trying to get a job in the finance sector? If the answer is yes, skip this test entirely. Direct your effort toward the mandatory NISM Series XV or Series VA exams instead. If the answer is no, follow the chart down to the next question. Are you simply looking to understand market basics before risking your own money? If yes, then the SEBI Investor Test is your ideal, risk-free starting point. For a retail investor, the input required is extremely low compared to the knowledge gained. Dedicating a single weekend to studying for this free exam equips a complete novice with the tools to become an informed, resilient participant in the markets. You still have to do your own independent research and make your own decisions to actually build a wealth portfolio. Passing the SEBI Investor Certification calibrates your financial compass. It points you in the right direction, but you still have to walk the path.